Welcome to the Journey Girl Magic Podcast. I am Nikita Burks-Hale, life coach and your personal journey guide. This podcast is for the wanderers, the doers, and action takers. I'm here to empower women and women of color to live their best lives by showing up, being vulnerable, practicing gratitude, being a badass, and most importantly, enjoying the ride. This imperfect podcast is for you as you live your life and become the best version of yourself. So let's journey together. Let's get started. Hey everyone, it's Nikita, and welcome to another episode of the Journey Girl Magic Podcast. It is officially November. Now I have to say that November is probably my favorite month of the year. The weather has finally changed. I get an extra hour of sleep thanks to daylight savings time, although I must say I'm not a fan of it getting dark so early. I feel like November is the last month to just breathe and enjoy the moment before the hustle and bustle of Black Friday and the holidays and then New Year's. I'm excited because we have just started our November gratitude journey and it has truly been amazing already. Now, in case you missed out and you're like, wait, what? There's a November gratitude journey? It's cool, I got you. It's not too late to join. We're only a couple of days in, so what I'll do is I'll keep the challenge open for you for one more day. So it's going to remain open through tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So head on over to www.journeygirlmagic.com/gratitude and sign up so that you can receive your 30-day gratitude calendar. Okay, so like I was saying, it's November, and this month for me is all about being thankful. Surprise, surprise. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about 6 ways to live a life of gratitude and how gratitude really, for me, equals power. I truly believe that gratitude matters. Now, if you think back to one of our first episodes, I believe it was episode 3, where I talked about the 5 steps for starting your imperfect journey. If you haven't listened to it or you need a refresher, I'll link it in the show notes. But the 3rd step of starting your imperfect journey is to be grateful. Now, I know it may be a little cliche to talk about being grateful in November, but I think it's the opposite. The American holiday of Thanksgiving already suggests being thankful, so what better time to talk about it than now? It's already on everybody's minds. So I'm going to do things a little differently today. We're going to talk about it, but I'm going to go ahead and give you all 6 ways up front, and then we're just going to journey and talk through them. So the 6 ways to live a life of gratitude are to intentionally choose it, to count your blessings, to stop focusing on the things that you don't have, to be humble, to check your privilege, and to keep your glass half full and always find the silver lining. So as I said, the first way to live your life of gratitude is to choose it intentionally. Gratitude will never be the result of a purchase, an accomplishment, or a thing. Gratitude truly starts with a decision. It isn't something that just happens, it is chosen. I can honestly say that each day I choose to be grateful. Sometimes it feels like it's a fault. No matter how bad things are going, no matter how bad they can get, I know that they can always be worse. And I remind myself through one of my affirmations that I write each day. I am resourceful and I am resilient. I know that hard times exist, but I also know that they're there for the experience and that they are not a reflection of who I am and my failures. So when my son is throwing his 18th tantrum in 20 minutes, because we are all about that life right now, or I find that there's still a whole lot of months left and I'm out of money, I'm the one that chooses my attitude. I become real grateful for what I have. When I find myself having a few dollars to last me until the next payday, I get real grateful that at least I was able to pay my bills and I'll have to figure everything out. Because why? I'm resilient and I'm resourceful. When I don't get enough sleep and I wake up in a bad attitude, I remind myself that I just have to make it through the day and then I'll be able to rest soon enough. You see, gratefulness is not always about just looking on the bright side. Gratefulness is taking a stance and standing in your power. Now don't get me wrong, there are plenty of times when I feel like things are just happening to me. Like, woe is me, the universe is out to get me. This has happened, that has happened, what else can go wrong? But you know what? Shit happens to everyone. It's a fact of life. So I can't take it personally. I can't think that it's only all about me and that the world is set out to ruin me. The world can't ruin my gratefulness. The world can't ruin my greatness. I am in charge of me. Gratitude is power. When you are able to experience the bad, sit in it, and then come out on the other side thankful, that is power. That is gratitude. My infertility journey was and continues to be one of the hardest journeys I've ever been on. But damn it if I didn't come out the strongest version of myself that I know to date. The 4 shots a day, the thousands of dollars, the negative pregnancy tests, it was all so hard. But I was also grateful that I even had this option. Whether it be IVF or adoption, because little do people know, even though I'm in a same-sex relationship, in a same-sex marriage, I have infertility issues. So it's not just because I did not want to have a relationship with a guy. I medically am not able to have kids in the typical quote-unquote normal way. But even with that news and through my IVF journey, I found gratitude and realized that I was never less than. I was never less than or lacking because I could not conceive the way most people do. There is more than one way to be a mother. And when the road most traveled was closed for construction indefinitely, I found another path. When one door closed, I did my research to find another one to try to open. I am resilient and I am resourceful and I am grateful. That is gratitude, that is resilience, and that is power. Now let's talk a little bit about privilege. I would dare to say that the vast majority of my current listeners, at least right now in the beginning, are from America. And we are some of the most privileged people in the world. Now don't get me wrong, racism and oppression is real. And also, when compared to other countries, we are dripping with privilege. And I believe sometimes we forget that. We forget that just because we have certain things and we do things a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that we are better than others. I used to think that our values as a country made us the best nation. But sadly, that is not the case anymore. I visited other countries and continents, and I see that gratitude for what they have. I feel it. I feel their love and their appreciation for their simplistic life. They're happy with what they have. No more, no less. And I envy that. I miss that. I miss that collective feeling of gratitude that the other nations have. I believe that a grateful heart is the gateway to simplicity. A person that is grateful for what they have will not yearn for more, simply put. They are content and satisfied. It doesn't mean that they're complacent. There is a clear difference. But they are happy with what they have and grateful for whatever more they receive. Have you ever met someone that just exudes gratitude? They are humble and have this deep sense of caring from the inside out. Those are special people. They are truly unique. Surround yourself with them. I would dare to say that I'm one of those people. They just see the world differently. They are wired differently. They're the ones that see that person across the hall that may be down or may not be having a great day. And they take the time out to really just acknowledge them, to see them. A lot of them are what people may call empath, the feelers. They are the ones that are always there for you. They're the ones that just know. They're also the ones that have gone through some of the toughest things, yet they emerge stronger than ever. And in their moments of weakness and vulnerability, they grow even stronger. Our world today it's tough. It's filled with turmoil, pain, fear, distrust. But our world is also such a beautiful place filled with love, laughter, friendship, and gratitude. There's an old saying that I still believe in today. Your world is what you make it, each and every day. So if you can be anything in the world, which you can be grateful first. Start there. And so as you go through the month of November, if no other month, commit to it for this month. How are you going to focus more on gratitude? And of course, this is going to be your reflection work. So head on over to our free private Facebook group, Journey Girl Magic, and tell me, in what ways are you going to practice gratitude? What does gratitude look like for you? What do you think your biggest struggle is going to be? And I have this 30-day gratitude journey for a reason. To implement more gratitude in your daily life. To pause, to think about things that you're grateful for, and to lead with a heart of gratitude. And so take this journey with me. Go to my website, click on the 30-day gratitude journey, and let's get started with this together. So I'll end today's episode with a gentle reminder that you should stop seeking success and stop seeking happiness. Happiness and success do not make you grateful. It is the opposite. Being grateful leads you to happiness, success, and overall joy. And that joy is one of the key components to living your magic and being the best version of yourself. Hashtag Journey Girl Magic. All right, y'all. That's all for today. Be grateful, and I look forward to journeying with you next week. Thank you for listening to today's podcast episode. I'm so appreciative and grateful for your time and your listening ear. Show notes for this episode can be found at journeygirlmagic.com/podcast and by clicking on today's episode. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to the Journey Girl Magic podcast to be the first to know when a new episode becomes available. You can also leave a review and let me know how this podcast is helping you on your journey. I read them all. I look forward to journeying with you next week, and remember, it's your journey, so show up, be vulnerable, practice gratitude, be a badass, and most importantly, enjoy the ride. Welcome to your journey.